service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab. Greetings, I'm Bud Lowell. Your full AccuWeather forecast is always right across the top of this and all CNC local news pages. Governor Andrew Cuomo rolled up his sleeve Thursday and got his flu shot at a news conference in Albany. Meanwhile, State Health Commissioner Dr. Nirav Shah says every New Yorker 6 months and older needs to be vaccinated against influenza in what's turning out to be an unusually severe flu season. The New York State Department of Health says all 57 New York counties now report lab-confirmed cases of flu. There were 1,120 new cases diagnosed statewide just last week, and that's a 55% increase over the last week in December. The Monroe County Health Department has had more than 1,300 cases locally this season so far and 8 flu-related deaths. Doctors say even people who get the shot are getting sick this year, although it's the best defense available. The flu vaccine works by building up the body's immunity to selected flu viruses, but because it has to be made ahead of time, manufacturers essentially take their best guess at which variations nature will throw at them. Dr. Shah says this year's vaccine isn't perfect, but it's giving at least some protection to about 90% of the people who receive it, meaning that most people who do get the flu anyway at least aren't getting as sick as people who didn't get the shot at all. The state recommends staying inside and calling your doctor if you do get the flu. Emergency rooms are overloaded, so doctors don't want people going to the hospital unless their primary health care provider says they need to. Information about flu shots is available on the Monroe County Health Department website. 2 Greece residents are in the Monroe County Jail accused of repeatedly beating 2 children to the extent that they suffered open wounds and a broken wrist in one case. Both those people pleaded not guilty Thursday before State Supreme Court Justice Joanne Winslow. The Monroe County District Attorney's Office says Nakenya Cooper Jenkins is charged with 4 counts of assault and 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Terrence Strong faces 11 counts also of assault and endangering the welfare of a child. The assistant DA prosecuting the case said in court that a 12-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy were repeatedly bound, stripped naked, and whipped with electrical cords and belts. Strong and Cooper Jenkins were arrested last month after a staff member called from the children's school to report suspected child abuse and brought the children to the hospital. That got Greece police involved, and their investigation led to the arrests. Cooper Jenkins' attorney asked that she be released from jail because she's 6 months pregnant. Judge Winslow said no and also issued orders of protection for both children. The prosecution says both are now doing better in foster care. The murder trial of a Webster teen accused of setting a fatal fire will be postponed because of the Christmas Eve attack on the West Webster firefighters. 16-year-old Michael Pilato was supposed to go on trial Monday for murder, arson, and attempted murder. He's accused of setting his family's home on fire with gasoline, killing his father and 2 of his brothers. That trial now begins April 15th. Pilato has pleaded not guilty and he's in juvenile detention. Judge Vincent D'Onofrio ordered the delay at the request of the defense and with the support of District Attorney Sandra Dourley. The judge said many of the necessary witnesses are West Webster firefighters and Webster police officers, and they're still dealing with the Christmas Eve tragedy that killed 2 of their own and injured 2 others. The defense was also concerned that the Christmas Eve shooting incident might make it harder for his client to get a fair trial. The dismissed music director of the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra spoke briefly before a crowd of supporters downtown at the Central Library Thursday night. He asked them to channel their passion over his fight with the RPO's Board of Trustees into a great future for the orchestra. Arild Remerite was invited by the RPO Community Supporters, a group not affiliated with the orchestra management. Maestro Remerite was formally dismissed by the board in November after clashing with its chairman. The board said Remerite's style had begun to affect the musicians, and they voted to terminate his contract effective August 31st. 2 board members have since resigned. The RPO Community Supporters are lobbying the RPO's members to overturn the current board leadership at the orchestra's annual meeting, January 23rd. They claim the Rochester community doesn't support Remerite's dismissal, while over 100 people turned out for Thursday night's meeting. To the left of the player window, links to these and other stories, and at the bottom, links you can use to directly post us news that you know about and would like to tell us. We are a community news resource at CNC, so let us know about business starts, birth announcements, wedding announcements, all that sort of thing. It's all there for you, and we'll put it up on the news. Next news is as it happens. Updates are when necessary. You can help us be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.